Good afternoon, all of you. Today, myself, Pradeep Kumar Tripathi, Assistant Professor in IT Department, AKGEC, Engineering College, Ghaziabad. Today, I am discussing about the Python programming KNC 402. This is a programming language that we will use in the programming. Now, we will start from the introduction part. In the Python programming that is introduced in 1991, that is invented by the Rossum, that we created for the purpose of server-side programming language. We can use the programming language for the development purpose. We can use server-side programming. We can use the software development programming. We can also learn about the mathematical calculation. We can also done by the Python programming language. Now, in the introduction part, we can use the what is the features of Python programming language. In the features of Python, that is easy to code, free and open source, object-oriented languages, GUI programming support, high-level languages, and Python is portable language also. Now we will discuss about what is the first topic, that is easy to code. Python is a high-level programming language that we can use the normal English language. You can use that particular language to code in the Python. And free and open source. What is free and open source? In the free and open source, that is belongs to the anyone can add their knowledge to the Python, and the Python committee members that can approve the features, then we can add the that particular feature in the Python programming. This is called free and open source technology in the Python. Now we can discuss about object-oriented language. In the object-oriented language, we can use the object and classes concept in the programming language. Like in the C, we cannot use the class and object, but in the Python we can use the object and class concept. After the class concept, we can use the GUI programming support. What is GUI? Graphical user interface. That is also give the Python programming enrichment of the languages. In the C programming, we can the limited facility that we can use in the programming language, but in the Python we can use graphical user interface that is more attractive and more supportive. And in the next, that is high level languages. What is high level languages? In the high level language, that is a machine readable languages, like English language, that is called high level language. Normal language that we can use for writing any code or writing any content, that is called high language. And in the Python we can use also English language, that is a more easy to learner and more easy to coder also. Now next is Python is portable language. What is portable? Portable concept means that we can use the one program in a one machine, and we can use that particular code in another machine also. That if if two machines are supported that particular languages, that is called Python, that is called the portable language. If we can execute some code in Python programming in one machine, that is contain the operating system Windows, and in the another machine we can use the Linux. If we run the code in a Windows operating system machine, and that particular code we can take and we can run on the Linux machine also. If Linux is supported that particular code, then it is called portable. Python is a portable language, but C is a not portable language. C is run only the specific machines like Windows, Linux, there also. Now we can discuss about why Python is used in so many areas in current days, because these are easiness and their simplicity and easy to code, That's why we can use the programming language. And Python is also a syntax free languages. Like C, we can use the every and each syntax very specifically, but in the Python we can use the developer write the few lines of code, but if we miss any syntaxes like a comma, colons, they can run easily because it's a feature of a Python. Python run on the interpreter systems, meaning code can be executed by line, but in the other languages like C, we can use the compiler, and that compiler can run the code whole program in a one shot. But in the Python, we can run the interpreter by line code. That's why these are the some features that we use the Python programming language. What Python can do? We can do the some development purposes. We can do the server side programming. We can do the software development. We can use the software to create workflows. We can connect to the database also. It can be read and modify the files that is stored in the database. Python can be used to handle some mathematical calculation. We can use also the purpose of data analytics. Nowadays we can use, suppose we can use the some hello message in the particular language Python. We can use the print, hello and word. This is the syntax we can use in a Python. If we if this code will be run in C programming, we can use the some 5 to 6 line program that we can use. But in the Python, there is only one line, that is a print hello world, and the output is hello world. If we use the C programming, then we can write the first code 5 to 6 line code. So lines of code is also less rather than any other programming languages. So that's why Python is used in the so many areas in the current days. What is Python architecture? Now let us discuss about Python architecture. Python is an object-oriented programming language like Java. Python is also called the interpreted languages that is used in so many areas like cloud computing, machine learning, AI also. We can develop the tools in the Python because it convert the some code into the byte code, and the byte code that will be run on a virtual machine. This is the basic syntax of Python architecture. Python code, we can input the code, then machine can check the syntax and translate the particular code into the byte code, and the byte code goes to the PVM, that is called Python virtual machine. After getting the code of the byte code, then we can generate the output of the machine. This is the basic Python architecture that we can run that particular program in Python. If we write some code goes to the syntax checker and translator, and after the syntax checker and translator, code goes to the in the form of byte code to the PVM, and PVM, after PVM we can get the some output. Task of Python interpreter to execute a Python programming. Like previously I have said, the Python architecture, there is a path of Python architecture that we can run the program. Now the next topic is Python indentation. What is Python indentation? Indentation means space that we'll use in the beginning of the code lines. If we can write the some code in the beginning, then we can use the particular indentation. Indentation means spaces that we can use. Suppose we have the example like if 5 is greater than 2, then print 5 is greater than 2. And if 5 is greater than 2 colon space print 5 is greater than 2. In the next line, we can use the 5 is greater than 2, and we can does not give the any space before print. If we run these two lines, then first line will be executed, because after the block of code we can give the space and that program will be run. In the second line, we cannot use any space before the print. That will give the syntax error. This is called indentation error. The number of spaces in the particular Python programming language, at least 1 or maximum 4. We can use some block of code. We can use some block of code like this. If with the example like this, if 5 is greater than 2 and print 5 is greater than 2, there is 1 space. There is 4 space. 1 space is there and 4 space is there. We can use this type of code. If we run particular this code, this line will be the executed, this line will be also executed, because we have given the spaces. If we cannot use that particular space, then it will give the error. Python indentation error, same block. Python, we have used the same number of spaces in the same block of code. What is mean by the same block of code? If we have the block of code like this, if 5 is greater than 2, this is the block of code, and we have used 1 space, we have used the 3 space. This is not allowed, because a same block of code use the same indentation space. If we have used the 1 space, then we have used also 1 space. This is the 3 space, that is not allowed in the Python. Same block of code uses the same line of spaces before the print statement. This is called Python indentation. Now next topic is Python variables. What is variables? Variable are nothing but reserve the memory location to store the some values. Like C, like Java and other programming languages, we have used the variables. In the Python, we can create the variables. When we create the variable create after getting the some value to the variable. If we use, suppose like a is equal to 10, then this is called variable. If write a, this is not a variable. This is a variable, because some value assigned to that particular variable. If we create some variable, then we can put some values to that particular variable. After getting the values, then we can create variables, and variable can store the value of that particular variable. Assigning the value, that will be do not need explicit declaration to the reserve. Memory spaces, the declaration happens automatically when you assign the values, and simply you can create some variable using like this. This is called Python variable. Suppose we have assigned some values, x is equal to 5 and y is equal to hello Python, and multiple assignments are also allowed in particular Python variable. In the C programming, we cannot use the multiple assignment in the single variable, but in the Python variables, we can use the multiple assignment also. Like ABC is equal to 1 and ABC, that is equal to 1, 2 and John. That is also allowed in a Python programming, but in the C, this is not allowed in particular C. That is a Python variable. Now next is comments. Comments are used for the some notation purpose, some declaration purpose. We can use the some documentation part. We can use some elaboration part. In the comments are started with the hash. Python will also render the rest of the line as a comment. If we use the hash, this is a comment. Anything you want to declare some definition part, then we can use for like this. Print hello world, and suppose get the type of variable, so we can use the function of type. Suppose we have a variable x is equal to 5 and y is equal to Amit, and now we want the what is the type of a x and what is the type of y. Then we can use that function type x, print type x. This will give the value of particular x variable. In the x, that is the integer type, and y, that is a character type. So this will be given the output class int and class str, string type and integer type. When we use type function in any variable or any method, then they will give the output of that particular data type. So type function is a function that we can use in the when we find out the data type of a variable, then we can use the type function. When we use the type function, they will give the output of data type of that particular variables. This is the case sensitive language also, because if variables names are case sensitive, when a is equal to 4 and capital A is equal to, I mean, A will not overwrite of A, because A is a different variable and capital A is also different variable, because this is a case sensitive language. In the case sensitive languages, we can use the particular cases. In the Python variable names, we can assign a short name like x, y, or more descriptive name. We can use some rules for the naming of the variables. What is the rules for the naming of the variable? One is a variable name must start with a letter or underscore character. What is second rule? A variable name cannot start with a number. We cannot start the number as a variable name. We can use always a letter or underscore. We cannot use numbers. And variable name contains only alphanumeric characters and underscores like A to Z, 0 to 9, and so on. Variable names are case sensitive also, as we already knows that is a case sensitive language. Suppose we have used the capital A, that is not same. So variable names are also case sensitive. Suppose age and age, that is a different. Suppose this age and this age, both are different names. Python can treat the different names. What is multi-word variables name? Variable name with more than one word can be difficult to read. There are several techniques you can use, make them more readable. First is camel case. In the camel case, each word except the first start with the capital my variable name, that is Amit. It is called camel case. Now Pascal case, we can start the my variable name with the capital letters. This is called Pascal. And one is snake case, that is each word is separated by the underscore character. In the camel case, we can use first letter is capital, and except first letter we cannot use the capital letters. And in the in the Pascal case, we can use some start with the each word is start with capital. Suppose my variable first name is V is capital, and in the name N is capital. This is called Pascal case. In snake case, we can use the underscore part with the variable name. This is the multi-word variable name we can define in the Python programming languages. Python output variables. What Python output variable, we can use the print statement to output of the variables. To combine the text and variable, we can use the plus sign to combine some variables. Suppose x is equal to easy and print Python is x plus x. What is the output of this particular line? Easy, Python is easy. Output is Python is easy because we can add variable of x and this text. We can use plus sign for purpose of output, for the purpose of combine the text and variable. X is a variable and Python is, this syntax is text, and text and variable both are combined in output. If you try to combine a string or number, then will give the error. Suppose x is equal to 5 and y is equal to Amit. What is the output? That is the print x plus y. This output will give the error because this will not supported. One is type of integer and another type of string. We cannot support the different types of data type that we can add by using the plus operator. Now we will discuss about Python data types. Python data types are two types. One is built-in data types and another is user-defined data types. What is built-in data types? In the built-in data types in the programming language, data types of we can use in library files. Variables can store the different types of data types and different types can do the different things. Built-in data types are by default available in the Python libraries. Text type like string, numeric type that we can use integer, float, complex, we can use the data type in built-in type. And another is sequence type like list, tuple and ranges. These particular data types are built-in data types that are available in the Python library files, then we can use. Next is mapping type, that is a dictionary. And next is set type data type, that is we can use the set. So these are the data types that are used in library files, that is are called built-in data type that will be used in Python programming languages. One is string type, another is numeric type like integer, float, complex, sequence type like list, tuple and range, mapping type that is called dictionary, and set type are called set. And one other variable is used, that is boolean type, that we can use the particular word bool. Bool is used for the boolean data types. And setting the data types in the Python data, the data type is set when you assign a value to the variable like this. Suppose we have example of x is equal to hello world like this. This is the data type of string, and x is equal to 20, that is the data type of integer. X is equal to 20.5, that is the variable, that is the value of float. And one is x is equal to 1j. What is the value of this particular data type? That is complex. Now next is x is equal to apple, banana and cherry. These are the some data type that is called list. If we can use the this bracket, then we can call is tuple. When we use the value and variable both in the same bracket, then we can use, this is called dictionary. And after that, this particular curly braces we can use set type of variable, and x is equal to true or x is equal to false. This is called boolean data types. So these are the some basic data type that we will use in the particular programming language Python. What is the Python numbers? In the Python numbers, there are three numeric types that will be used in the Python. One is integer, float, complex. Variables or numeric types are created when you assign a value to them. Suppose x is equal to 1. Thank you guys.